SFR preseason test race in France. I hope everyone hears me. Let me turn down the volume real quick. Yeah, we are in France today, running realistic performance. So let me just look at the roster real quick and tell you who is driving for which team. Because we have realistic performance, obviously the faster guys are going to be in the slower cars and the other way around, just to even things a bit more out. So in the Mercedes we have Big Boy and Scheiberot, Red Bull, Van Rocco and Delta Lima, McLaren is Red Dog and Schietto, Racing Point Atoma and The Rain, Renault Rainer, Zufall and Henry Rogers, Ferrari F1 Lasse and Ben Smith, AlphaTauri Stuart Little and Giamma, Alfa Romeo Joe Wright or Colo, Haas Cool Beans and Kelly Robb, and in the Williams we have Connie and Honesy. I've heard that we had some dropouts, so I am not sure how things are going to change, but I'm seeing that in the Alfa Romeo we have Domi Lee and Toss, so looks like that changed. But apart from that, I'm not seeing too many changes at the moment. So this is just a practice session to get used to the cars, because as we all know, the realistic performance feels completely different compared to the equi cars. So I don't think we can take too much out of this. We are going into a full qualifying session now, followed by a 50% race, and I've heard that the start of the race is going to be wet. So yeah, that basically throws all the qualifying strategy in Q2 out of the window, as everyone will be starting on the same tire. I'm not too sure how long the rain is going to last, but I think strategy will still be a huge part, because depending on how long the rain stays, some people might not be able to make it to the end with the one stop. So we might still see some strategies, like for example medium, 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 soft. Some guys might be able to go hards to the end, other guys maybe have to. I don't think we will see a 3 stop, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 stops, even if the rain lasts like 10 laps or something. Why am I in a car? I selected this big. I'm in a car for some reason. Retire from session. Why did it... I selected this... Well... So I don't really know what to do now, because it will put me in the car for the race again. So even if I then retire, the AI car is going to be on the track the whole race. So alright, let me, I will handle this in the Discord meanwhile. Let me put on all the important informations. We also are running strict corner cutting, so I'm expecting a fair amount of penalties in the race, and maybe some guys. Ich kann nicht. And maybe even some guys struggling to get a lap in Wait, am I really streaming? Yeah, I'm okay. Hello Will, how are you? Why are you not racing? Anyway, what I was trying to say is that especially the guys in the slower cars who might push very very hard to get everything out of the car, they might invalidate excuse me, they might invalidate important laps in Q2, maybe even Q3 if they get there. So yeah, but let's watch only now. Who is in the Williams? Yep, and that's invalid in turn 1. Actually, I think the Williams is not even the worst car, at least handling wise. I think that the Haas on equal performance, on realistic performance, is the worst feeling car. Obviously, I carried the team to a Constructors' Championship because of how great I am. So the car gets the job done. Let's put it like that. So Domi requested to race and do comms at the same time. No, I will definitely not do that. Ooh, big boy bit loose out of the fast chicane there. He's in the Merc. I'm not sure what pole time is going to be. On equal performance, we would be looking at a mid-27, I think. But now that everyone is on, like that, now that the field is a bit more evened out, I would expect maybe a high 29. Let's see what Big Boy does in the Merc, or big B16 boy. And he does a 29.7, which puts him into P1 ahead of Flasse and Schietto on the mediums. Henry Rogers just into sector 1. Goes purple apparently. Oh, very wide there. Uses out of the track, which you have to do there. Such a tricky traction zone. 330 kph, not too slow. I'm not sure what the setups are like, because I don't know if you really have to adjust, or if you maybe even have to adjust your setups according to the car you're driving, because some cars obviously feel very very loose and have very bad balance and not really good grip. So I think if you really want to be successful, oh, that was very close to getting validated, but if you really want to be successful, you will have to adjust the setup to make your car feel good. But let's see what Henry does. I think that should be P1. Yep, pretty comfortably by 7/10. I think that's a very good lap for the Renault actually. Let's see what Hornsey does as he's coming up to the line. A 30.7. Kubin's on an invalid lap. Van Rocco warming up his tires, so I'm guessing he's not on a fast lap. Carrier seems to be on one. Let's see. Obviously in the car which won the constructors, as I already mentioned, in P15 and the Williams right now, we have the guy who won the Drivers' Championship, Cornel F1. Very tight line there from Kelly Robb, makes him able to use a very wide line going to the last corner, which you need to set up the exit. A 31.0. Kubin still on an invalid lap, same as Monroco. Delta Lima just starting this lap. Meanwhile, Cornet goes into P6, just a 10th behind his teammate. Ponzi, obviously in the same car. I mean, they're teammates, so makes sense. Let's see what J.D. Lima does. Might have gotten a bit of a slipstream there from the Alfa Romeo, which is Tommy Lee, I think. And he's getting another slipstream. Yeah, it's Tommy Lee. Very nice line through there, hits the apex nicely, but I think he's very close. So I think he's too close, and I would suggest that he's getting a bit of dirty air. I don't know if that was English, but sounded like it. Let's just roll with it. Oh, he completely revs out the engine there on the exit and goes into P2 with 29. Yeah, that's still a 6. I'm not going to round up. So good lap there from the Red Bull. Van Rocco's teammate, and validates again and goes into the pits. So right now we don't have anyone on the lap. Oh no, Lassie just started his next run, his second run that is. So looking at it right now, people just have to set a lap time to get through to Q2, because obviously 15 guys make it, and I for some reason got thrown into a car. So and that's it looked like the game told me that it was going purple in sector 1, but he pulls out of a slab, so maybe he wasn't happy with this exit. Alright, let's look at Tiny Dust's bike, also known as Ben Smith, who commentated a few of the races last year. I'm not sure if he's going to be a full-time driver next season, as I'm obviously not involved in SFR anymore. Let's see what he does in Ferrari. Tracked her down the straight. 5 kph slower than the Renault of Henry Rogers. Could obviously also be down to the setup. I think the setups vary pretty much here, because some guys might feel better with high downforce, obviously because of the very technical last sector. Other guys might run low downforce to be strong on the straights. I personally tend to run lower downforce here. I had a league race here last week and I used 2.6 I think, or 2.5 or 3.5, something like that. But yeah, again, the guys with the slower cars will probably be compromised in their approach with the setups, and Ben goes into P5. He is on a new wheel, so still getting used to it, but that might explain his pretty big gap to his teammate. But it's just Q1, so some guys might be sandbagging, just getting a lap in, getting a feel for the car, getting used to the track. We never know what the real pace is until we get into Q2. So right now I don't see anyone on a lap. Some guys are on their out lap, but no one is on a flying lap, and Toss is still in the pits. Okay, so Will is compromised by his internet, that's why he's not racing. Alright, let's look at Van Rocco, the bossman of SFR. Good first sector. I think the most sector times I've seen so far of sector 1 were mid to low 22, so he's right up there. Red Bull obviously always a bit slower down the straight compared to other cars, but very strong in technical bits of the track and slower corners. Game tells me he's purple, but I think you can be 3 seconds off in the game says you're purple in sector 2. So let's see, very wide line there. Doesn't use all of the tracks, stays pretty tight there. Here again, and exit. Looked okay. Let's see what he does. A 22.9, which puts him into P5 for now. Splitting the Ferraris. Cornet. As you can see, not on a fast lap. Kelly Rob. Red Dog improving by half a second. Kelly Rob down 2.2, so I'm guessing he made a mistake. Cool Beans also hasn't set a lap yet and he invalidates, so let's hope he has enough fuel with him so he's able to set another lap. I'll go for another run. Yeah, it looks like no one is going to join, so I'm guessing we'll be on a grid containing 15 drivers, which is not too bad for a pre-season race. The NRL pre-season race had to be cancelled due to low attendance. Scherzo, currently on a fast lap. His previous fastest lap was set on the medium, so if he's going to finish this lap, I'm expecting a huge improvement. And yeah, he's up by almost a second. Let's see if we can jump into the top 3. That's what I would expect. As he's just going to find more time in the last sector on his fresh tires. Just much more grip than on the mediums, of course. So I'm guessing he'll make a huge jump. Fifth gear in that long left. I don't think I've seen yeah, never mind. And he goes into second. So my prediction came true, of course. Hornsey not on a fast lap, Connie also invalid. Red Dog on a lap, Tommy Lee not on a lap. So I'm not expecting to see any big movements. I hope that Toss is going on track though, because right now he wouldn't make it into Q2. Because he's in P16, even though I obviously have not set a lap. Let's look at Cool Beans. I'm gonna actually use the broadcast cam even though it's shit on this track. Nah, I'm not using broadcast. So shit. Alright. Doesn't use as wide of a line as I expected him to use there. I mean, obviously everyone has a different approach to every corner and every track, so uses first and short shifts into third. Let's see. We have 30.4, which puts him into P7 for now. So Henry Rogers with a pretty big gap to P2, and then from P2 P6 it's pretty close, and after that half a second, then again pretty close down to P12, and then we once again have some pretty huge gaps. So yeah, Toss is not going out for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. Right, so Toss is going to miss out on Q2 because he just didn't go out for some reason. which is interesting to say the least. Domi currently on a fast lap. I think he was improving by 1.2 seconds if I saw that right. And he improves by 1.4 seconds but only makes up one position. Cool Beans not on the lap, Delta Lima's on the lap, improving by 4 thousandths of a second. Ah shit, I missed the second sector. Oh, whoa, whoa. Goes very wide. I don't think that was planned. Maybe it was. I guess we'll never know. Right, so Tuz is having some issues. So obviously everyone into Q2, I don't think you really need a rundown of the standings in Q1. So yeah. Alright. Domili getting put into the pits makes everyone wait. Wasting time. Come on. Why does it sound like cars are still out on track? Oh. Because Ben's AI out. There we go. Alright, yeah. Just a quick rundown of everyone. I made it through to Q2 as a commentator, which might be a record. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I've never seen Crofty make it into Q2. So yeah, I think I can be proud of that actually. There's Lima, apparently from Jamaica. That's good to know. Alright. I am probably back in the car now. So watch me and my retiring skills. Fastest hands in the land. Come on. Zack. Zack, zack. Boom. There was speed. Right, we have some comments. You on the time see? No. I joined midway through practice, and when I was in the loading screen, I selected spectate, but for some reason I got put into the AlphaTauri at the start of quali. So I have no idea why I'm in a car. Like I said, I didn't select a car. It just put me into one. So speed, boom, boom, pating, ka-chow. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the game's on. And we have a wet Q2, which is interesting. I knew that the race was going to be wet, at least the start, which I already mentioned in Q1. But we also have rain right now, so I think everyone will want to go as quick as possible to make sure that the rain doesn't get heavier the longer the quali goes on. But of course it might also dry out in the end and people will be able to set times on dry tires, but looking at it right now everyone is going out except Ben is also going out and Henry does not, by the looks of it. Alright, who's first on track? Not Hornsey. I think it's Connie then. Yep, must be Connie. My podium prediction. Well, I think Henry Rogers is a pretty safe bet. The Renault isn't too bad and he's probably top 5 on pure pace. Like he would be top 5 on equal performance. Probably, I think he would be fighting with Domi and Cool Beans and Kelly Robb for top 3. So I'm guessing that he will win. Then it's tough. I think I'm going to go with Henry Rogers, Van Rocco, and Schietto. In no particular you know what I'm trying to say, order. So yeah, Henry, Schietto and Rocco are my podium. Alright, I didn't pay any attention to the lap so far. Let's go on board with Korn. No, I haven't. I just Marocco told me during practice that the race start is going to be wet. So I just know that oh, and that's Connie Gan Zbinala. So happy that I caught that. To make sure he can watch it back. Pretty sure he will enjoy that. Right. Oh, Delta invalidates. Either too much minimum speed or just understeering through the corner. Goes wide. Big Boy gets the power down of the last corner and he is obviously going to go into P1 for now. They won 42.2. Hornsey next to cross the line on a valid lap. See what he does. He's going to be slower than 1.7 seconds off. That's interesting. Lasse probably made a mistake. Otherwise he won't be 10 seconds off. Kubins goes into P2 for now. Van Rocco comes starting through the last sector. Let's see what he does. Looking at it, I think he'll be a bit off. Red Dog P5. Oh, actually no, he isn't. He's a bit off, but he still goes into P2. Dominique P4, Schietto P5. Kelly Robb also seems to have made a huge mistake. Ben on an invalidated lap, so let's look at Delta Lima. This is the corner where he went wide the lap before. Manages the corner better this time. That looked pretty good as well. Ooh, a bit of a lock up there. Very wide entry. Big Boy improves his previous time by around 3/10. Solidifies himself in P1. Oh, never mind. Oh no, it was 3/10. Delta Lima up into P2, half a second ahead of his teammate, who is not going to like that. I shall return for the end of Q3. Auf Wiedersehen. Wiederschauen und reingehauen, man sieht sich. Domi Lee on a lap. Never mind. Which is interesting because usually what you want to do in the rain is overfuel the car a bit and go for like 2 or 3 laps in a row to make sure you get used to the wet conditions and get the engines up to temperature. Looks like Red Dog improved by a lot but invalidated his lap. Let me check that actually. Yeah, he did improve, but it wasn't invalid. So, pardon me there. Who else is on a lap? I think Ben is, yep. Coming up to the line into P7. Try Road on a lap, Kelly Rob not. Van Rocco invalid, Cool Beans down by like 3.2 seconds, so I'm guessing that's an in-lap. Delta Lima about to cross the line for his second lap, and he improves again by just over half a second. Goes into P2 and it's just 100 whatever behind P1. So looking at the Q2 times, at the early Q2 times, I might have to change my prediction. Lasse goes into P3 with a 42.4. Cornet now on a lap. See if he spinalas again. Nope, not this time. Very, very cautious there on the throttle, which obviously makes sense as he's in the Williams and wet conditions. We don't want to touch the inside curb there. Really unsettles the car and completely messes up your balance. Short shift into third, short shift, not really a short shift into fourth. Let's see where he goes. Goes into P9. Pretty big margin to his teammate actually. Ben up into P5. Now very, very close to his teammate, just 5 thousandths behind him. Cool Beans seems to be down on his current fastest lap. What about Van Rocco? Top million an hour lap. Red Dog gets out of the way. And run to the line. I'm guessing this will be a huge improvement. Yep. Jumps up into P4. Meanwhile, Henry Rogers goes into P3, which I completely missed. Sorry about that. So now in Q2 the top is looking a bit closer than it did in Q1. Obviously, like I said, in Q1 people are now just starting to push, as now it's about making it into Q3 and making sure you get the best starting position as possible, which obviously did not matter in Q1 as everyone made it through except Toss, because he seems to have internet issues, which you never like to see. Cornet makes up another few places up into P9 now, which would put him into Q3. Now currently not in Q3 is Honzi, who is on another fast lap, improving by just over 8 tenths. But that would just put him into P10, so let's see if we can find a bit more time in sector 3. He still has probably, if he has enough fuel and enough EIS, he should be able to get in 2 more fast laps. So let's see what he is going to do on this lap. I keep saying let's see. I hope no one who watches this is blind. Wait, yeah, never mind. Alright, Hornsey coming up to the line, goes into P7, so huge improvement there. Just behind the Ferraris of Lasse and Ben, and just ahead of the Haas of Cool Beans and Kelly Rob. Cornet invalid. Domi currently on a fast lap, coming into the last corner, gets the powder nicely. Why does he have, oh never mind, oh, that seemed to be a cooldown lap, or you slowed down during the lap because you made a mistake or something, because yeah, for obvious reasons. I mean, he was 10 seconds off, so yeah. Look very clean through sector 2, through turns 1 and 2. Goes a bit wide here. You actually want to hack the curb there. He's still improving by just under 10th. Goes a bit wide. Keeps the throat through the floor. No, not through the floor. Yeah, whatever. Coming into the fast left right chicane, which makes or breaks the lap basically, and that was not invalid. To me it looked like he was off track with all 4 tires, but yeah, the track limits are very inconsistent here. He is improving. If he finds a bit more time in sector 3, he will jump up into the top 10 with Cool Beans not improving. Nope, not improving at the moment. Not sure about Cornet. Tribal, no, Red Dog just finished the lap, and Tribal Road, is he improving? No, he is not. So for now, Domily should be good for Q3. Let's see. Jumps up into P9 and immediately slows down, so he won't have the chance for another lap, and it's very, very close down there. So Cornet jumps him, which puts Domily into P10, and now P11 as Krubins gets past him. So no Q3 appearance for Domily. See, Red Dog, I don't think he will make the line. Nope, Red Dog won't make the line, so Red Dog is out. Kelly Rob just made it last second. Right, let's stay with him for the whole lap, as he will probably be the only one to challenge for Q3. As Connie is going slowly. Hornsey not improving. Ben currently nope, Ben is not improving. Lasse is going slowly. Hornsey in the pits. Connie, alright, let's see. K-Rob improving in sector 1. And it looks like it just stopped raining, so I feel like Kelly Rob timed this to perfection. He now obviously has to hope that it doesn't dry out too quickly, which would make his tires overheat. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, he's really pushing right now, obviously. He was just up over 2 tenths, which right now would be enough to put Cornet down into P11, which in the drive would be the perfect spot to start, but as everyone will have free tire choice and it will rain at the start anyway, so not the best position. Let's see what is Carrier going to do. Is he going to kick out the champion out of the top 10? He does. So Cornet and Domily, some big hitters out in Q2, as well as Red Dog and Tribe Road in the Mercedes. No, I'm German, I know how to pronounce it properly. Out in the Mercedes. Why did I pronounce it like I'm English? Like wrong. Why would I do that? Alright. Now a quick rundown of Q2, which is very close at the top, with Big Boy, Del Lima and Henry Rogers making up the top 3 within 700s. Skierto in P4 and Lasse in P5. Then we have Van Rocco, Kelly Rob, Tiny Daft Bike, Honzi and Cool Beans. The last guys to make it into Q3, Cornet, Domily, Tribe Road, Red Dog, Tribe Road, and obviously me out in Q2. So we have Williams, Alfa Romeo, McLaren and Mercedes out in Q2. Interesting. But by the looks of it, I would expect the Q3 to be dry, as it started raining at the end of Q2. Let's see, and it is, yeah, it seems to be dry. At least that's what it seems like. Let's see what tires everyone's going to use. Yep, people are on softs, so it is dry. No. Yep. Alright, there we go. So who is the first guy on check? Seems to be Skierto. Alright. So we have both Haas, both Red Bulls, and both Ferraris in Q3, a Renault, Williams, McLaren and Mercedes as the guys who round up the top 10. Well, yes, the top 10 for the race start. And the top 10 in Q2. I've called pizza next to me, by the way. Don't think that anyone cares, just saying. Alright, let's go back to Skierto, who is not the first guy on track anymore. It now is Lasse Haverhals. Oh, excuse me, but I'm a bit tired. Watch football the whole day, basically. I don't even know why I'm tired. Right now, no, Telselima is actually going to be the first guy to start his lap. So let's go on board with him and see what he does. If he's watching, no pressure. Bit of a lock up, and that was not invalid, which is interesting. Misses the apex there, goes a bit wide. That looked pretty clean. That looked pretty nice as well. Takes the curb in the fast lap, which actually can gain you a few hundreds, which is what you need if you are battling for pole. Nice line through there, a bit wide. You can take a bit more curb in the right, but shouldn't be too bad. 49.9. Does not take any curb there. Very easy to invalidate there, which seems odd, but it really is too easy to invalidate in that fast right, because when you try to find every single bit of time, you might overshoot the limits there, which Delta Lima doesn't, as he obviously has a lot of experience. Comes up to the final straight, whatever. There's a 25.5. Big Boy improves that and does a 29.5, not 25.5. Lasse, Schieto, Van Rocco into P3. Whoop. Was a bit of traffic, it didn't look too bad. Henry Rogers goes into the pits. Ben invalid. Cool Beans just behind Caleb, so let's go with him first. I'll be back in a sec. My mom just came home. I hope yeah, I'll be back. I'm back. Kelly Robb went into P8 with a 131 flat, and Cool Beans slotted into P6, just set of Fonzie and right behind Skierto. Alright. And Skierto actually did another lap on the same set of tires, which is interesting. He improves by 3/10, but you usually don't see that in Q3, someone using the same set of tires twice. Interesting. Right, so after the first banker times in Q3, we have Big Boy in P1 with a 129.2 and Delta Lima behind him in P2 on a 29.5. Then we have the other Red Bull pretty far behind, actually, half a second behind his teammate in P3. Lasse and Skierto P4 and P5, Kubins in P6, Hornsey P7, Kelly P8, and Henry and Ben have not set a lap time yet. Alright. Some guys electing to go out early. Well, everyone should have 3 sets of tires, but I don't think everyone has the time to go out for 3 runs, so I obviously don't know if it's going to rain in the end, but I don't think it will. Well, it looks pretty sunny at the moment and not overcast, so I'm not expecting it to rain. Yeah. So out on track right now we have Lasse and Big Boy. I'm not sure if Big Boy made a Q3 appearance last season. But right now he's pretty comfortably in P1. Almost 3/10 ahead of P2 and 8/10 ahead of P3. So he's looking very good at the moment. as Delta Lima makes his way out of the pits. Well, let's go on board with Lasse for now. He will be the first guy to start his second run. Very cautious. And again, very cautious. I think some guys will put getting a safe and clean lap in over invalidating, which obviously makes a lot of sense. But still, like, very cautious in the first sector. That looked pretty nice. Doesn't use all of the track on the inside, but still improves by just under half a second. Going into the last sector, let me look at Big Boy's sector time real quick. He invalidated, so Exotic in the chat, being the funny guy he is, welcome to the stream. I hope you will enjoy it. Bit of a lockup, but it takes a lot of curb on the inside there. Comes up to the line, and I think that will be a pretty big improvement, but only makes up one position. Delta Lima currently improving by 2/10 in sector 1. Wow, completely sends it. And that's what you have to do in that corner. Improving by just over 10ths, so he lost a bit of time. Right now it would not be enough to beat Big Boy, who is improving as well. So Delta Lima has to pull something magical out of the last sector, which is possible if he made a mistake on his previous lap, but right now it doesn't look like he will be able to challenge Big Boy for pole. Coming up to the line, he improves, but he actually manages to get pretty close to Big Boy, but it does not manage to get him off of P1. Oh yeah, and I think that ruined Big Boy's lap. Not expecting him to continue with that. Well, he might continue, but I don't think he will improve. Right, let's actually look at, yeah, he pulls into the pits, so that's his quali done. Let's see what Henry Rogers is going to do. I think you want to be aiming for a mid 49 here, which he does. So will he be able to challenge Big Boy for a pole? It's looking very good at the moment. Just has to make sure that he does not run wide in any corner to invalidate his lap. Uses everything off the track right there. Looks like a very good sector, and I think this is going to be pole, and it is. Yeah, pretty comfortably. Delta Lima into the pits. Schietto not improving. Van Rocco invalid. Cool Beans not improving. Zurückschauen Sie for now. See if he jumps any positions, and he does. He jumps Cool Beans up into P7. See if Coolbeans can respond to that. He cannot. What about Caddy Rope? He's improving in the second sector by 5/10, so he might be able to at least beat his teammate. Oh, he does, yeah. Alright, so Ben goes into P8. Oh, I'm sorry, I probably didn't sound really excited, but yeah, I'm German, so please bear with me. Alright, so Henry Rogers takes pole by just under half a second. He should not be in a Renault. Big Boy into P2 with the Mercedes. Delta Lima P3, Schietto P4, Lasse Haverhals P5, Morocco P6, Honzi P7, Ben P8, Caleb P9 and Coolbeans P10. So we have 3 Ferrari engine cars at the bottom. What a surprise. No offense to you guys, just offense to Ferrari. Yeah, makes sense. Right, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen now because yeah, just because I will be in a car, so I don't really know what to do now, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm in a car, but what do I do now? Do I... I don't know. But it's actually good to see the strategy, and looking at that, I think the people in the slower cars will have to do a 2-stop. I don't think they will be able to stretch the Inters into a 1-stop. So I would not to be surprised if the guys with slower cars will be able to make it a 1-stop and stretch the tires until it starts to dry out. Yeah, the view is pretty nice. I also like it though. Alright. Yeah. I have no idea what to do. I'm just going to wait until the formation lap and then retire, I guess. Demonstrated on the formation lab. I don't even know how to start on a controller. Wait, what? Clutch. Reach optimal. Short shift. Oh, almost lost it. I hope I'm not going to crash into anyone. I'm so smooth on controller, it's crazy. Short shift, because it's wet. And you don't want the rear tires to spin out, but yeah, it looks pretty wet. Bit too much speed, bit of understeer, but that's fine. Short shift. Another short shift. Another short shift to make sure I don't spin the rears. Ooh. Yes, let's warm up the tires. Good idea. I hope everyone enjoys my little tour of the track. Hard on the brakes. Oh. Short shift. A bit of wheel spin, so I had to correct that. Short shift. And I think I'm just going to wait at the oh no, I will miss the start. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know what to do, because if I don't retire, I'm going to miss the start, but my AI will bother everyone. What do I do now? Wait, I will just try to retire when the lights go on. Does that work? Maybe? Does that work? I hope it does. What do you mean, darf die? I don't know what to... I retire. No way. I can't... Yeah, I will miss the start. I'm sorry, boys. Retire from session. Come on, come on, come on, show me. Come on, give me the spectator view. Game! Ah, there we go. And we already have... No, what the fuck is that view? So... Rod Henry goes into P1. Stays in P1, I mean. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There was a lot of contact at the back there. Connie kissing and touching every car next to him. Whoa, whoa, very aggressive driving there. I don't know what's going on. Right, let me pull out all the menus real quick. So we have... Let's look at the position changes for now. So Henry Rogers already with a 3-second lead. He does not belong in the Renault, I'm sorry. Lasse P2 right ahead of Big Boy, who lost the position at the start. Skieto stays in P4. Manrocco made up a position, Domili made up 6th position, Cornet 4, Kubins 2, Honzi lost 2, and Delta Lima lost 7 positions. Let me have a quick look at the penalties. Oh, we have 2 jump starts. So Delta Lima and Henry Rogers will have to serve a drive-through. And yeah, Delta Lima already in to surface. I'm up, and there goes the braking board. No, not a braking board, that was on the exit, so it's not a braking board, of course. Skieto right on Van Rocco's tail. Yeah, so if we don't get a safety car, I think it will. Well, nah. I think it will be very tough for Henry Rogers to win this, because the pit lane is very long. It's only 60 kph. Whoa, 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 whoa! Scared to all over the place, and Tommy Lee with a 3-second penalty after 2 laps. That's impressive, Tommy. I'm proud of you. So, Schreiber rode 5 seconds behind Ben already. No idea if something happened there. Toss obviously not driving as his ghost is on the track. Alright, Henry now with a 3.7 second gap. I think if I was him, I would stay out another lap, try to stretch that advantage as far as possible, and then serve the drive-through. So obviously we don't have DRS, even though it's lap 3, but I think everyone who watches this knows there's no DRS in the wet. So we have a few gaps coming up, but from P6 down to P11 it's actually pretty close together. On board with Hornsey right now, who is right behind Cool Beans and his teammate, who himself is behind Tommy Lee. Delta Lima gets past the AI of TOS. Well, doesn't really matter if TOS is driving or the AI, they are equal on pace, so it doesn't make a difference. Kyrop and Ben, a bit of a battle going on here. And Kubbins lost some time to Cornet. Whoop, Domi going a bit sideways there. Yeah, and, whoa, interesting line there from Domi. Esports line, using all of the track, as he should. And Henry now into the pits to surface drive-through, which promotes Lasse into P1 and Big Boy into P2. Behind them is Van Rocco, who's a bit of, like, he's, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't talk. And Cornet is putting Domi under some pressure, but so far has not found a way past. Let me put on the ERS actually. No, there we go. Yeah, Domi is a lot higher on ERS compared to Cornet. And Big Boy goes up into P1, gets past Lasse down the straight. Cornet, nope, has a look down the inside, but doesn't manage to get past. Domi, a very aggressive but clean driver, so I'm pretty sure he won't make it easy for Cornet. He won't just wave him through and say, yeah, here, go on, have the position. That's definitely not going to happen against Domi. Yeah, that's not a place to overtake, and I'm pretty sure that was a warning for Cornet there. Yeah, it was. So, not really smart to have a look down the inside there and get a warning for nothing. Kubin's currently benefiting from the two guys ahead of him having a bit of a battle. He was behind like 1.2 seconds, now back within a second. Hornsey still very close behind. At the top we have Big Boy creating a bit of a gap to Lasse, who himself has a small gap to Van Rocco, and then again a second gap to Skierto, who is 4 seconds ahead of Domi, and then we have the train of cars behind him. So let's see if the Mercedes power of the Williams is going to be enough. Nope. Domi is not even using any EIS, and Cornet does not manage to get past. Domi compromised in his line, although Cornet will get the better exit. Domi now putting on his EIS. They are going side by side through the fast right-hander. Let's see if this goes well. Nope, it does not. Where's Domi going? There he is. Yeah, that was never going to work in the wet. It's hard enough to trust the other guy in the dry to do that corner, never mind in the wet, so I think you could kind of see that happening, and Skierto is already in the pits. Now, it stopped raining, but it surely is way too early to go for the dries. Where is my... No, he goes for the hards. Oh, wow. That is optimistic. Jeez. You will have a lot of fun in the first few laps. Meanwhile, Van Rocco now with a 7-second gap to the next car, which is Cornet, of course, who for some reason decides to go defensive even though the cars behind him are 7/10ths behind and they don't have DRS, so not really sure why he decided to go defensive there, but hey. So the gap at the front pretty much staying the same. Let's see if we get some other guys gambling and going onto the dry test early. It's actually yeah, Skierto is weaving down the straight to get tires. Nah. I'm pretty sure he went in like 1, maybe even 2 laps too early. That does not work. He's losing so much time to Delta Lima. Definitely didn't work out that gamble. I don't expect him to make it to the end as well. I think he will have to make another pit stop. So, not a good gamble. Meanwhile, Henry Rogers already up in speed 9, obviously benefiting from Domily spinning into the oblivion. He's now behind the group of cars which is led by Cornet, who managed to create a bit of a gap to Kubins around 1.4 seconds. Hornsey's still very close behind, just following for now. Doesn't really save CIS, they are both on pretty much the same amount, while Cornet is just draining his. He's really pushing around, trying to get away from the cars behind. Kelly Robb, out of all the guys, nope, Henry Rogers is the highest in EIS. Obviously his car will most likely have the best EIS management, as that also changes from car to car on realistic performance, just like the tire wear and just the general handling and feeling, of course. Red Dog gets a 3-second penalty, which is only the second one so far after 7 laps, so everyone just keeping it clean and within the limits at the moment. Hornsey doesn't seem to find a way past Cool Beans, who kind of faked going into the pits there, or he just went wide, not sure. He goes wide again, so I'm guessing he just went wide. Hornsey not using any air, so looks like he doesn't even want to get past, which isn't too good for Kelly Rob because he will get held up in the pits. Oh, Kelly Rob just keeps it on track but loses 2 positions. So you get Henry Rogers. Van Rocco gets the second penalty, and Red Dog goes in for the mediums. I think that's still too early. But I would guess that Henry Rogers made a bit of a mistake there, so I think he's too far away. And Red Dog very slow out of the pit entry. I think he actually might have didn't spin, that would have cost him more time. Henry, the next guy to get a penalty, so a bit of a commentator's curse. Once I mentioned that everyone kept it clean, we now got 2 penalties within a single lap. And Ben losing bits of... I think he's kind of losing the touch to Hornsey. The Cool Beans ahead, and now DRS gets enabled, which suggests that it is dry enough for the dry tires, and Big Boy decides to go into the softs, so that's definitely 2-stop. Lasse onto the mediums, that's a 2-stop as well. Van Rocco onto the hards, he will probably go to the end, and Hornsey stays out an extra lap. So does Henry Rogers. So I just got a 5-second penalty for speeding, not too sure who it was. Cornet onto the hards. Tribal Road stayed out, gets ahead of his teammate. Yeah, that should be pretty easy work for him. Does he get past? He does get past. Alright, so let's look at the tire situation. And I think Ben got screwed. I think Ferrari put him onto another set of inters. I'm so sorry, Ben, but I know how you... Wait, let me up, and he spins. I can kind of smell a rage quit coming there, if I'm being honest. I can... It's kind of in the air. What do you think, Ben? Do you smell it as well, if you're watching? Wait, let me check real quick if it is what I suggest it was. Nah, he got put onto the enters again. I know what that feels like. Happened to me in a league race, so it's just pre-season, so it's not too bad. He lets Delta Lima pass. So if I look at the tire choices right now, I am guessing that Big Boy definitely has to pit again. So will Lasse. Henry on the hards. Hornsey on the hards. And Chirod on the mediums. Alright. So Big Boy will have to pit, Lasse will have to pit, Chirod and Kelly Rob will have to pit, so does Red Dog and Toss. Well, the faster version of Toss, meaning the AI, and yep, there is the Ben Smith rage quit. I knew I was smelling something funny. Alright. And the gap from Cornet to Van Rocco actually reduced by around 3 seconds. Before the pit stop it was 8 and now it's just 5. Hornsey actually didn't lose that much time. Oh, and we have Lasse spinning. Lasse spinning out of P2. But his gap was so big to everyone else that he only lost one spot. He will have hot tires now. Let's see if he keeps it on track for now, and yeah, he does. But he should definitely be able to pull away again from Cornet. He's in the faster tires. But will he be able to get the gap to stay ahead after the pit stops? That is the question. Big boy with the fastest lap. I think I don't expect him to go on the softs again, because soft from lap 8 on is basically impossible. Even in the Merc, even on equal performance, it's impossible. Well, it's possible, but it's slow as fuck. Sorry for swearing, but I'm European, we are allowed to swear on live television. So I'm guessing he will go until lap 14, 15 maybe, and then switch to the mediums again. He's creating he already has a nice gap to Van Rocco behind, so I still think he's in the best position to win this, even though he probably chose the wrong strategy. But I'm still expecting him to win this, if I had to guess right now. And we have who's that? And Henry Rogers just spun. So yeah, he's definitely out of race winning contention, even though he seemed to be the fastest in quali and just in general at the start of the race as well. But I don't think he will be any threat to win this race. Kubin's just on the edge of getting DRS off Cornet, but not quite close enough. Hornsey behind though in his DRS. Pretty equal on ES as well. He has a bit more than Hornsey behind. Cornet the same amount as Hornsey, so he's pushing. Lasso already created a 3-second gap, so yeah. Van Rocco in absolute no man's land at the moment. 13.3 seconds ahead, 4 seconds behind, another 3 seconds to the next car, so it's absolutely nowhere, just surviving in P2. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with that for now. He does have a penalty, so let's see how that turns out in the end, because everyone else behind does not have a penalty up until Domi Lee in P8. But right now that's not a big factor. We can always get a safety car, but it's very hard to cause a safety car on this track. The walls are so far away, so I don't think you can rely on that. Kelly is actually not managing to keep up with the cars ahead, and Van Rocco gets another penalty, so he has 6 seconds, Domi Lee has 5 seconds, so he got the speeding penalty on the entry. Henry 3 seconds right behind Domi. Pretty sure we will get past him pretty easily down the straight. Domi Lee actually uses his ES and defends this, but gets past. Yeah, he does. And he also keeps the position. Meanwhile, that Lima also sending it. Wow. Not a lot of space there. He pretty much had to cut the whole corner there to make sure he stays ahead. Let's jump out on board with him. Yeah, that's... Whoa, very aggressive driving there from Domi down the straight. almost marzipans him. But Delta Lima gets ahead. Does he stay ahead? Yep, he does. Alright, let's get back to this battle for P4. Which has Connie kind of on the back foot. He has by far the lowest amount of ES. Hornsey almost up to 60%. Kubin's up to 50% and Connie down to 12%. So if Kubins gets a good sector 1 and a good exit onto the long DS, I think that should be an easy move. That looked like a warning, to be honest. But you never know on this track. Alright, let's look at this. No. He does not use, Kubins does not use any of his DRS, so looks like he doesn't even want to get past Cornet, because he bit of a wobble there on the exit. I would guess that he would have been able to get past pretty easily, but I think he elected to stay behind him. Meanwhile, Delta Lima very, very close to Henry Rogers, who seemed to be very fast in the qualifying, but on race pace, he is struggling a bit. I don't know what's going on there. Does he have damage? Come on, show me. I think he does. Yeah, I think he's missing his end plate. Yeah, he's missing his end plate. So that explains his race pace struggles. Delta Lima going for a move into turn 1 and gets ahead. Alright, let's go for this battle. Look at this battle for now. Let's see if Kubins tries to go for a move this time. Yeah, Connie's rear light is flashing, which indicates that he's below 10%. So, and it does not look like Connie wants to swap places to chill in Kubin's DRS to save up his ERS. Connie loses the position to Kubins. Bit of surprise attack there. No. Connie hangs around the outside. Looks like he keeps the position for now. He does, yeah. Which, if I were him, I would not fight it this hard, because you have Hornsey right behind, who almost has 90% DRS. He is on 6% DRS. So there's just no reason to fight it this hard. I would just do the smart thing, slot in behind his ERS and just save up something. But everyone has their own approach to racing, everyone has their own tactics, so that's just my opinion on that. Meanwhile, Delta Lima and Henry Rogers managed to catch up to the back of Kelly Rob. And now Kubins, yeah, now he gets past. Delta Lima also gets past. Wait, what happened here? Why was there a yellow flag? Anyway, Big Boy is pitting for, I would guess, the mediums and then until the end. Yep, goes onto the mediums until the end then. Now, Van Rocco will comfortably get past him, but he obviously is in the slower car, on the slower tire, and has 6 seconds penalties. So Big Boy has a lot of work to do if he wants to win this. And Hornsey is looking to be in by far the best spot at the moment, in huge amounts of VAS. And I think Cornet might have wanted to keep the position because he felt like he didn't have the pace to keep up with Cool Beans, but why is he using his EAS now? The EAS which he doesn't have. Well, I guess we'll never know. Hornsey behind on 60%. The thing is, EAS is so important in this game. I would definitely sacrifice track position during the race just to be able to save my EAS. But yeah, once again, that might just be me. Meanwhile, Henry Rogers also managed to get past Kelly. Now behind Delta Lima, both catching up to the group of cars, and Cornet goes wide. Hornsey puts on his ES and easily gets past. He was just waiting for that mistake to happen and just pounced on it. Manages to get ahead of his teammate. Well, bit loose on the exit there. And he might be out of DRS. I mean, yeah, he does not have DRS. Now uses his ES to defend from Cornet. Delta Lima not close enough to go for a move. And Cornet now gets a 3-second penalty. So, and he's off. Well, so I think what Delta Lima wants to do now is to get past as soon as possible to get some cars in between him and Henry Rogers. Big Boy currently just closing down the gap to Lasse ahead, and if he gets ahead of Lasse and then stays without penalties, I think he should easily win this, because I'm pretty sure Van Rocco is now up to 6 seconds of penalties. Let me check this real quick. Yep. Alright. And Cool Beans now losing 2 positions on 1 straight. Where are my menus? Let's see. Is Delta Lima able to get past Hornsey? Not yet. Cornet meanwhile dropped out of Calirop's EAS. I'm pretty sure he has got wing damage from that impact with the barrier, so I think that will be his fight for P4 over. And Domily goes into the pits. Oh, he retires. Oh, Henry Rogers and Cool Beans very close to each other there. Cool Beans defends this. Absolutely nothing wrong there, left him enough space on the inside. But now dropped out of DRS, and he won't be able to defend this. Easy move, just as easy as Delta's move on Hornsey. So Delta now up into P4, while Big Boy is catching up to Lasse and now within his DRS. I'm expecting Lasse to win relatively soon because he won't be able to do like 18, 19 laps on the mediums. He might try, but I would expect his tires to pop in like lap 25, 20. You get sorry. So Big Boy gets past Lasse into P2 and he sees Delta ahead. I'm pretty sure he obviously knows the penalty situation because of his timing screen. But I would expect him to try and win this on track, while Cool Beans now also has a 3-second penalty, which is obviously perfect for Hornsey, and not sure about Calirop because he is one of the guys I would expect to pit relatively soon as well, just like Lasse. Sketch and Red Dog, both McLarens just pitted for the softs. They are 50 seconds behind the points, so they might go for fastest lap, but I'm not expecting them to have a say in the points battles. It's Henry just completely overshoots the overtake on Hornsey. They are still side by side, and Hornsey manages to stay ahead for now. Obviously gives Delta Lima the chance to pull away. Now 2 seconds ahead of the guys behind. Wait, right now, isn't that the podium I predicted? No, I'm not going to jinx it. No commentator's curse. Big Boy will probably get the... Yep, he is now within DRS. Oh, is he? Rogers of Henry gets past Hornsey, and nope, Big Boy not quite in the S range of Van Rocco. Yeah. Lasse and Calirop still out on their own mediums. So I think it's getting a bit late to pit. You can obviously, yeah, you can definitely see the graining and the tire wear in the front. Speaking about front, let's look at the battle for P1, as it's obviously the most important battle right now. Alright, going into lap 23 5 laps left. Big Boy completely out of ERS. So is Van Rocco. Kind of looks on the inside, but does not send it. Oh, is he going to send it now? I wouldn't do it. Yep, waits patiently for the DRS. Doesn't need to risk anything. Has no penalties, has fresher tires, and will obviously have the advantage of DRS while being in the fastest car on track. So, easy move. Not as easy as expected, but yeah, he gets past. Just able to brake late. Oh, that's a bit of a love tap there from Van Rocco. Nothing too serious. He defends. Now is Van Rocco going to send it? Big Boy covers off the inside nicely. Van Rocco takes the wider line, but just doesn't have the grip on his old hards compared to Big Boy on his relatively fresh mediums. So Triboroad got past Connie. So no one really fighting except Cool Beans and his teammate Kelly. One of them has a penalty, one doesn't have one. Let's see how this turns out. Regarding Kelly tires as well. Yeah, the fronts also look pretty dead. Just like... Nope, that's not on it. Just like Lass's front tires. Up, Toscalen left. He's used to it, so yeah, nothing major there. Henry now back, no, just out of DRS now again, and Big Boy just creating a gap to Van Rocco now. Van Rocco out of DRS on older, slower, harder tires as well. So I think if Big Boy does not win it, the victory should be sealed. I obviously don't want to jinx him, so let's stop talking about him. No commentators curse. Van Rocco and Delta Lima looking to get a very solid result for the Red Bulls. Looks like they're going to get P3 and P4, obviously because of Van Rocco's time penalties. You don't know. Wow. Yeah, Lass's tires are completely gone. So he won't be affected to attack Van Rocco, of course. But he might struggle to stay within the 6-second window to make sure he gets ahead on Pence. He only has like 2.5 laps to go, but his tires must be awful right now. Just like Kelly Robs, who loses a position to his teammate. Triboroad just behind in the murk. 1 lap fresher mediums than Kelly Rob as he stayed out the extra lap on the inters. Wow, a bit of contact there, a bit of lag as well, so not really sure what's going on. Hornsey just not able to stay with Henry Rogers and Delta Lima in the Williams. but managed to create a gap to. Whoa! Oh, that was very aggressive there from Tribal Road, and he spun. Well, the camera angle looked a bit weird, but it looked like Tribal Road just tried to barge through there, and but yeah, I don't know. It's just pre-season, so nothing too serious. I don't expect anyone to report anyone as well, because it just doesn't gain you anything, and it's just like a fun pre-season testing race with realistic car performance. So, but I'm still pretty sure that Lasso will be disappointed that he just dropped out of the 6-second window to Van Rocco, which would mean that Van Rocco stays in P2. But I'm also expecting Lassen not to worry about that too much. I would guess that he's just trying to get his tires to the end and stay in P3, because if his tires pop, he will probably stay in the points, as Schietto and Red Dog are just way too far back. So yeah, going to the last lap, Big Boy with now a comfortable 3.5 second lead ahead of Van Rocco, ahead of Lasse, ahead of Delta, ahead of Henry. And Cornet just lost position to Tribal, so I'm guessing Cornet spun again, because Tribal was a few seconds back because of his little incident with Caddy Rob. Just has to make sure he stays within 3 seconds of Kubins to secure P7. But yeah, let's head on board with Big Boy as he gets into the last sector. Delta Lima gets a 3-second penalty. That's just, I think that just hurts his ego. Getting a penalty, or his first penalty in the last lap, won't change anything on the positioning. So Big Boy coming into the second to last corner. Into the last corner, made the strategy work. Fastest car on track, fastest guy on track, going to win this comfortably ahead of Delta Lima, Van Rocco. So congrats to Big Boy, Van Rocco and Lasse, who makes his tires last to the end, running up the podium. Delta Lima into P4. Oh, I think he just ran out of fuel there. Henry Rogers P5. Nope, P6 drops a place to Hornsey on penalties. Kubins on track P7, but finished P8 because of penalties behind his teammate K-Rob. Tribal Road finished P9. Cornet is going to be P10. Schietto and Schietto almost spinning. Obviously won't get any points, just McLaren's didn't seem to have a very good race. Fabio and everyone just Schietto still comes in P11. Red Dog, his teammate, finishes P12. So that's the preseason race in France done for SFR. Let's look at the podium celebration real quick. Tribal Road gets the coldest driver of the day. I personally would just give it to Big Boy. After Henry Rogers went into the pits for his drive-through, he got past last and just controlled the race from start to finish basically. So congrats to him, gets my driver of the day, and I'm pretty sure that's the podium I predicted. So yeah, just me being the GOAT. Right, quick rundown of the also with other time penalty. Delta Lima and Honzi P4 and P5, Henry Rogers P6, Kelly P7, the third and last guy without a penalty, Cubans P8, Chilbroad P9, and Cornet the last guy in the points in P10. After that we have Skieto with the fastest lap in P11, Red Dog P12, Toss's AI P13, Domily and Ben, who quit as the only DNFs. Alright, thank you boys for watching, and to all the FSR guys, good luck for the start of the season, and yeah, enjoy the racing. Thanks for watching.